When danger strikes, what you do next could save your life. On this channel, we break down real scenarios and give you the tools to survive the unexpected. Subscribe to get out alive. Because knowing what to do might be the difference between life and death. The desert may look empty and still, but it's one of the most extreme and unforgiving environments on Earth. To survive here, you must first understand what you're up against. The desert's biggest threats are heat, dehydration, and exposure. During the day, temperatures can soar well above 110 degrees, 43 degrees. But when the sun sets, those same deserts can plunge into near-freezing cold. The body struggles to regulate itself through these extremes, especially without shelter, shade, or water. Humidity is almost non-existent, meaning your sweat evaporates so fast you don't even realize how much water you're losing. This leads to dehydration, the #1 killer in desert survival. Even experienced hikers underestimate how quickly they can dry out. Another silent danger: disorientation. The vast open landscape often lacks landmarks. Walking in circles is surprisingly easy. Many have died within sight of roads or help, just by going the wrong direction or walking too long in the heat. So what's the first rule? Conserve your energy, conserve your sweat, not your water. That means moving only during the coolest parts of the day, early morning or late evening, and finding or creating shelter to hide from the sun during peak heat. Clothing is also critical. Many think less is better, but the opposite is true. Cover your body with loose, light-colored fabric to shield your skin from the sun and slow down moisture loss. A cloth over the head and neck can prevent sunstroke. Lastly, don't rely on instinct or desperation. The desert demands strategy. Panic will kill you faster than thirst. Success begins with calm, calculated action. The desert is not just sand. It's rocks, cliffs, dry riverbeds, and hidden dangers. But it also holds clues for water, for shelter, for survival. You'll learn to read them in the chapters ahead. Surviving the desert starts with respecting its extremes, understanding the terrain, and knowing that your greatest weapon is your mind. In the desert, water is life, and often the difference between survival and tragedy. The average person can only survive 3 days without water, and in extreme heat, that window can shrink to less than 24 hours. So how do you find water in a place famous for having none? Start by looking for signs of life. Green vegetation, especially in low areas or near rocks, may hint at underground moisture. Dry riverbeds, called arroyos or wadis, can sometimes contain hidden pools under the surface. Dig in shaded spots where the sand is damp. Be patient, water may seep up slowly. Next, follow animal tracks. Birds, insects, and mammals often lead toward water. Look for converging footprints or frequent animal activity, but beware of myths. Not all cacti are safe to drink from. Many store water that's toxic or causes vomiting, worsening dehydration. Unless you're trained to identify safe species, avoid drinking cactus fluids. You can also make water. Solar stills are a slow but effective way to extract moisture. Dig a hole, place a container in the center, cover it with plastic sheeting, and weigh down the center with a rock. As the sun heats the ground, condensation forms and drips into your container. Conservation is just as important as finding water. Many people make the deadly mistake of sipping small amounts slowly. If you're rationing, drink enough to rehydrate properly, then wait. Drinking too little only prolongs dehydration. Stay in the shade during the hottest parts of the day. The more you move and sweat, the faster you'll lose precious fluids. Every step should be calculated. Don't eat if you don't have water. Digestion burns water, so unless you've found a source, avoid consuming food, especially dry rations. Lastly, store water safely. Use bottles, canteens, or even plastic bags if necessary. Keep it shaded and cool to reduce evaporation. In the desert, you're not just finding water, you're fighting time. Look smart, move smart, and conserve wisely. In the desert, shelter isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for survival. Without it, the relentless sun can quickly push your body to the breaking point. Direct sunlight raises your body temperature, leading to heat stroke, dehydration, and even unconsciousness. This makes finding or building shelter one of your first priorities once you've secured water or a safe location. Look for natural shade first. large boulders, overhanging cliffs, or even the shadow of a canyon wall. These can offer life-saving relief from the sun's intensity, especially between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. when heat is at its peak. If no shade exists, you'll need to build your own. Use a tarp, emergency blanket, or even clothing to create a simple lean-to. Stretch it between rocks, sticks, or your gear to cast shade. The goal is to create an area where you can sit or lie down with airflow underneath. Trapping heat is dangerous. If you don't have fabric, get creative. Dig a shallow trench in the sand and cover it with a surface layer of rocks or brush to insulate from the heat. Desert sand, just inches below the surface, is often cooler. Position your shelter with intent. Face it away from the sun's path and anchor it against winds. A well-built shelter can lower the internal temperature by 10-20 degrees Fahrenheit. Enough to preserve energy and slow dehydration. Your clothing can also become shelter. Cover up with long sleeves and a wide-brimmed hat or scarf. Light-colored, loose fabrics reflect sunlight and allow sweat to cool you more efficiently. Remember, heat is the enemy during the day. Staying active under the sun speeds up water loss and exhaustion. During peak hours, stay still, rest, and stay shaded. You can travel later, during cooler hours. Every ounce of energy you save during the day increases your odds of surviving the night. In the desert, shelter isn't just about comfort. It's your first line of defense in a world designed to dry you out and wear you down. In the desert, getting lost can be just as deadly as thirst. Disorientation is a silent killer, and many desert fatalities occur within just a few miles of safety. The key to survival is knowing how to stay oriented and how to move with purpose. The desert landscape often lacks clear landmarks. Everything can look the same after a while. Sand dunes, rocks, scrub brush. That's why the first rule is, stay put if you're not sure where you are. If someone knows your route or location, staying in place improves your chances of being found. If you must move, do so early in the morning or late in the evening to avoid heat stroke. Before walking, pick a fixed, distant landmark, a mountain, tree, or large rock formation, and head toward it. Constantly glance behind you to memorize your return route. Mark your path as you go. Create rock piles, called cairns. Drag a stick behind you in the sand, or leave visual cues with branches or bright items. These signs help you retrace your steps, or help rescuers find you. The sun is your most useful daytime navigation tool. In the northern hemisphere, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. At midday, it leans south. A shadow stick method, placing a stick upright and marking the shadow's movement, can help you find approximate directions. At night, the stars become your map. Look for the North Star using the Big Dipper, or use Orion's belt to track general east-west movement. But only travel at night if absolutely necessary, and never without a clear plan and shelter location. Don't trust your gut, trust the landscape and the science. People who rely only on instinct tend to walk in unintentional circles. Avoid walking on open dunes or high ridges where wind erases tracks quickly. Instead, walk on solid ground like dry riverbeds or rocky flats. And remember, survival navigation is about minimizing risk, not rushing. Always make decisions based on energy, water supply, and terrain, not panic. When lost in the desert, it's not about how fast you move, it's about how smart you move. When the sun sets in the desert, survival enters a new phase. The heat of the day vanishes, and bitter cold, darkness, and predators take over. It may surprise you, but desert nights can drop to near freezing, with no clouds or moisture to trap. Heat, the temperature difference between day and night, can be extreme. That's why preparing for the night is just as critical as surviving the day. First, focus on retaining body heat. Use dry layers of clothing to insulate yourself. If you don't have proper gear, use what's available. Cover yourself with sand, leaves, or extra clothing. Huddle into a trench or lean-to and avoid sleeping directly on the ground, which pulls heat from your body. Start a fire if possible. Even a small fire offers warmth, light, and protection. Collect dry brush or cactus wood during the day. Position your fire safely. wind protected and away from gear. The fire also helps signal rescuers and deters nocturnal animals. Yes, the desert has predators. Scorpions, snakes, spiders, and coyotes are active at night. Always shake out boots and bedding before use. Avoid sleeping in tall grass, rock crevices, or animal burrows. Use a flashlight to scan your surroundings regularly. Stay alert for natural hazards as well. Some deserts are prone to sudden sandstorms or flash floods, especially near dry riverbeds. Choose your sleeping spot on higher ground and protected from wind. Ration your movements carefully at night. If you choose to travel, do so slowly and with a clear destination. Mark your path and maintain orientation using stars or the moon. Only walk where the terrain is familiar. Twisting an ankle in the dark can be fatal. Also, manage your mental state. Loneliness, fear, and panic increase at night. Use this time to rest, not stress. Keep your mind focused. Review your water status, gear, and shelter plan for the next day. Remember, desert survival isn't about fighting nature. It's about cooperating with it. Respect the dangers, stay calm, and adapt as conditions change. When you survive the night, you've passed one of the harshest tests the desert has to offer, and every sunrise brings new chances for rescue and survival.